Hey, how's it going, everybody? I want to do a video talking about Puss in Boots. Interesting hero that came out. This is obviously 14 emblem nodes. Very high stats, though. That usually you don't see an attack stat that high with a defense stat that high and HP that high, so that's pretty interesting. So if we look, average speed summons a minion for all summoners. So basically, if you can cast a minion as part of your special, then this Puss's special will cast a minion for you of your own type. Summons 3 for themselves with 10% HP and 30% attack. So 30% attack is like 250, something like that. So pretty weak and has decreased accuracy. So the interesting thing is all allies regenerate. That's a decently big heal. And then 30% attack. So in this team, not good synergy. You don't have any other minion casters here, so it's basically just a healer and an attack buffer, but there's already another healer here, so it's a little silly. So I want to take a shot at this. I waited till I had some more flags, and then hopefully we can find another one of these without running through my entire food supply. So Ariel as a tank can be difficult. Looks like it took 6 tiles to kill her, which is not insignificant. So yeah, and then if she does survive, she can just heal the damage you've done or a big part of it and then boost everyone else's attack up. So I'm just going to proceed how I ordinarily would, which is ignoring Puss because, I don't know, I don't see him or her as being a factor, so Poseidon is the most charged. Okay, we'll ignore the revive for now. And then I would try to get Evelyn to fire here a few times. Let's just get rid of Poseidon. So she's in the final turn of the... Oh, and has the attack debuff. So ordinarily with one turn on whatever this thing symbol is at the bottom, the mana thing from Hansel. With only one turn left, I wouldn't try to charge her back up again because the chances of me getting her mana bar full are less with only one turn. But since she has the attack debuff, I don't mind if it leaves her right being able to fire. Okay, this time we did get the cascade that made us successful. Let's kill Cage. Or not. Yeah. So, ignored Puss the whole time. Didn't really do anything. I guess we can see how strong the attacks are. Like 30 to 60, that's pretty weak. And the miss on them is... I mean, I guess there's 3 of them, so it's... Let's see if Cademan, who has a pretty weak snipe, can take out all 3. Pretty close. He's got like 400. So I can see how that could be an annoyance. They're not really that strong enough in terms of their attack to really be much of an issue. But the attack up for the team, I guess, is good. I think 30% is what Zimkeith offers, unless she's like 25%. It's one of the smaller ones. So yeah, this is just an awful team to use this hero in. The one saving grace, I guess you could say, I just noticed is the rogue class. Just makes it a even harder hero to kill. I wouldn't choose that hero for rogue emblems, and I feel like the chances of getting a rare event hero like that, if you're not at least dropping a decent amount of money is pretty low, so it's hard to imagine that being your only rogue. So, from my perspective, it's sort of a weak hero all around, so let's see if we can find another one. The chances of that are pretty low. I love this green team, so when I see multiple blues, it definitely gives me pause. Okay. Guess you could say we're on the hunt for Puss right now. Man, I feel like the chances are very low. I'm not going to go below like 1,700-ish food, or I guess you could say 1.7 million. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. Yeah, I was hoping to find one with a minion casting team, since that's the obvious synergy. But it's a pretty rare hero, and even more rare to find on defense. A lot of blue tanks that I would love to attack. But let's try to follow the thread of this video here. Oh, 18 emblems, so 842, what is that, 344? So 172 before troops, which could be 25% higher, which is like 200, 215 approximately per turn. That's about as good as it gets. And what's the troop on him? 23. So yeah, almost a 25% boost. Come on, Puss, where you at? I don't see him that often, so if we don't find one soon, we'll just have to stop the video here. Okay, so that 19th node does nothing for attack, which is weird because I thought the other one had 842, but I thought the wizard emblem node 19 was for attack. Nope. 18, that's for attack. Okay, come on. It's crazy. Oh, yes, there's another one. 1 minion-caster, is he a druid? 2 minion-casters. What is her sorceress? Okay, it's with the blue tank, so I'm happy to attack that. Big fat defense troop on there, so those stats are good. Obviously there's emblems on there, but they're much more balanced than a lot of them can be. Erring on the side of attack, which I guess makes sense for the minions, but it's sort of a strange hero in my opinion. Got 2 slows in here. Double healer with a slow hitter. Wow, so there's only 2 hitters in this entire lineup. This is, no offense to Tina Jr., but I feel like, in my opinion, this is a pretty terrible team. So this is kind of like the approach of a cash wreck tank when you're earlier in the game, where that was a difficult tank because you didn't have very many strong heroes to overcome the heal and the defense, elemental defense. But yeah, this is not a good team. It's always possible that I lose, but I don't consider it very likely. So, bad board for greens. That is true. Oh, almost had the purple diamond. A double red diamond. Okay. So, ordinarily in these testing situations, I don't like to treat a hero differently than I normally would. So, in other words, I don't want to ignore them just to let them fire, because that's not a realistic testing environment. But in this case, I would totally ignore them, so that's what I will do. And then stupid old slow Horg Hall here. Horg Hall. Ugh. I want to... Okay. Since the fight is already won, I'm not proving anything by... or I'm not skewing the results by not... Or by, excuse me, I'm not skewing the results by allowing them to fire, so... I'm gonna let him go off and see what happens, but if I get the... Oh, but I can just kill Horgal now. I'll let it go one more turn. So, the big reveal. Sashat benefits from this probably the most, in a way, because she has a replicator minion, so it's self-propagating, which is pretty excellent. However, she's fast, so she's able to do that frequently anyways. Whoa. Did I? Huh. It doesn't work for druids, or I killed it in a cascade while I was busy talking. I don't know. But if you were watching, you saw what happened. Yeah. I have to say I'm pretty glad I did not get Puss in Boots here, because I feel like they're just not good. You know, I guess you can consider that a little bit of a stuck-up attitude about it, because with this game you just kind of have to play the hand you're dealt, so to speak, and you don't get to make a lot of these choices. And I'm just want to confirm that I'm not evaluating from that perspective. I'm not saying if you have this person you shouldn't use it. I'm just looking at it like without taking things like that into account. Is this good? If you could choose, you know, is this a good hero? Because I think that's the only way to give an accurate sort of grade, if you will. And so far, I'm very unimpressed. We're going to see if we can find one more just to really take this point home. I did a video like this before about slow heroes. And if you should use them, when you should use them, and where you should use them. So I'll link that in this video description, because similar to this exploration here, I wanted to not just talk about my thoughts on it, but talk about my thoughts on it while testing it. So I found some teams representative of the ideas that I was considering. Pretty squishy there. And then discuss my ideas and sort of, what's the word I want? Summarize them at the end. Oh man, the chances of finding another one of those. Damn. 1638. Just to give a quick opinion here, pick a tank. Ursina's not a good flank. She's an incredible tank and a decent flank. She's not a bad flank, but you're going to be stronger if you just choose one tank. Don't put two tanks side by side because you can't decide who you want. Just pick one. Defense is insignificant anyways, I feel like. She's actually a pretty cool tank. But yeah, I feel like I don't care about defense. I open all my raid chests in Diamond now, even with this defense team, you know, which is obviously has good heroes in it, but there's no crazy emblems. Like, it's under 4,000 team power. And I have 2 non-damaging heroes in there, and Proteus is not really a damaging hero, so anyways, defense doesn't really matter. As long as you're opening your chests in Diamond, that's the only thing to really aim for. So I think people get too worried about having the craziest defense team, and that was me at one point too, of kind of imagining from the heroes I had that weren't even leveled yet who would be the craziest defense team, and then I got to the point where I'm like, I don't really care. I may make some changes at some point, but I feel like for me this game is about not what happens when I'm logged off and not playing, but what happens when I am playing. And by that measure, okay, so we're under, let me finish my thought. By that measure, I want to level up the heroes that are fun to use and that I enjoy playing with, and not the ones that will earn me insignificant points, if you will, overnight. So we're under the food that I was aiming for. That's okay. I'd like to find one more if I can. That's a pretty nasty team. Double dot, blind, Ursina. I could see that being good. Can't wait till I get a better yellow team or get my Gazelle leveled up so I have a good offensive rainbow raid team, because then I'll be more likely to try things, because at this point this is my yellow team, which has a lot of attack but is just too squishy. Jackals against Ursina, especially with the reflect and stuff, is just kind of dumb. So I do reroll tanks a lot just to fill up my raid chest, and once I actually have more than 3 max 5 stars, I'll be a little bit more or a little bit less discerning about which teams I want to attack. I do have some videos up on my channel attacking some of the toughest targets I can find that are almost 4,700 team power, and one might have even been 4,700. Wow, this is a tough hero to find. This is a huge waste of food too, but again, I don't care too much. It's fun to make entertaining videos, so I'm willing to use some of my resources for that. God, and of course I get all the interesting blue tanks, tons of A-gears. Oh, come on. Where's that little cat? Yeah, someday I'll learn how to edit videos and then I can stitch these things together, but in the meantime you just have to put up with my talking in between. Oh, come on, there's gotta be one more. I feel like we're a little bit high in cups to be finding that hero, to be honest. I think other people agree with me that it's not really that good of a hero. It's a rare hero, but it's sort of like Guardian Chameleon, where, you know, sorry, no offense if you have Guardian Chameleon and you were excited to get them, but I feel like Guardian Chameleon kind of sucks. Which is disappointing that they would... I mean, I think it's hard to come up with new event heroes and not just use your same old cliches. So they did bring some new stuff into the mix here, or with Puss in Boots, it's kind of a more of a new combination of things. With the blind, but on yourself, with an attack buff and minion summoning, like there's some new stuff in there. Chameleon, you know, good attack buff, good crit boost, but the main ability is kind of dumb. It only lasts 3 turns, so it's very short and therefore hard to capitalize. Well, you can let me know in the comments if I have skipped one without paying attention, but I don't think I have. Oh wow, I use a lot of food here. We will do 15 more skips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And now we're just going to go for a blue tank. Okay, there we go. So what do we got here? Okay, decent. I feel like Wilbur is a weakness here more than a strength. Yeah. So, stay tuned while I eat my words. Ha! That was lucky. Alright, let's get rid of you. Just watched the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I normally never watch the Oscars or anything like that, but some friends wanted to like make sort of a party out of it and sort of watch just while hanging out. So we did that and saw a bunch of movies in the nominations that look good. So I've been making my way through some of them. I watched, what's it called, Knives Out, which I really liked. Just kind of a good mystery story. And wanted to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I do enjoy Quentin Tarantino movies. I wouldn't say that I'm a huge fan or anything like that. I don't have anything against him. It's just, not always my thing. But it was an interesting movie. I kind of forgot what it was about, but it was loosely based around the whole Charles Manson, Beverly Hills murder thing that happened. And it was very hard to figure out the plot for a while in the movie, and then someone reminded me that that's what it's about, and I was like, oh, I don't know if you know that story, but it's pretty gruesome. So then I was like getting nervous for the end, being like, oh god, something really intense is coming. But they took an interesting twist on it, changed up the story a little bit from what the original was, in a way that I actually enjoyed more, and it was a cool movie. I really liked Leonardo DiCaprio is a great actor. And it was fun to see him in a grittier role, I guess you can say, sort of like the Tarantino style. So only 2 examples of this one. I honestly feel like it's enough to be conclusive that if you want to use Puss in Boots, they're of the rogue class, which is good. One of the better classes. Stats are good. Special has potential, but I feel like you need to have a full minion casting team, like Sashot, maybe Lady of the Lake. Who else are some of them? I guess Mother North, that'd be 2 greens at that point, so that might not be a good idea. And then you probably want to use them as a tank, I think. The stats are solid enough that you can use your emblems to bump up defense and stuff like that, and that way you're forcing the minions to come out and like getting a Sashot replicator minion out there early, Lady of the Lake mana cutting minion. Maybe I wouldn't use Delilah, and I probably wouldn't use Mother North and Lady of the Lake, because now you have, including Puss in Boots, 3 non-attacking heroes, which is super weak. So I don't know what the ideal setup is. I don't even know that I think there is one. I just plain and simple wouldn't use this hero very much. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. It really helps out, and I appreciate seeing those. If you want to see more, subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, fire them off in the comments down below. I do respond to everyone. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.